Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Etho mod pack. My name is Classic Tim, and today I'm going to redeem myself a little bit here. I've got a few more wither skeleton skulls here and some more soul sand. Let's try another wither fight. I think I've got this down now. I've killed a couple more. I'm going for some more nether stars just to upgrade my tools. I can add extra modifiers with them. So let's go ahead and add some more. Oh, man. When you're flying and you've got this swift swim on, like it's really hard to control. Like I'm not pressing any buttons right now. I just keep moving in one direction, and I really can't control it much at all inside the water. So I can't hit it. You can't stand still. Oh, come on. All right, I think if you stop swimming, there we go. Okay. Something to do with the flying and then the swift swim. And before I do this, I realized something. When I first made this ring, I didn't think that there was a place to actually put it. I checked all these tabs, but there's actually a little thing right here called Baubles. And in here, there's a ring slot. So you can actually put that right there, so it's not taking up inventory spot. I don't know if you lose this when you die. I haven't actually tried yet, but that'll be interesting to see. If you don't, that'd be really handy, so I can actually fly back to where I die instead of having to just run back without the ability to fly. Alright, so let's make a wither. So what I do is I just fly off, kind of let him explode on his own. And there we go. And then I just kind of sneak up behind him as he's just sitting around. And the key is circles. If you keep moving around him in a circle, he's going to always miss. Except that time I lagged a little bit. But yeah, I drank right away. Because he's that wither damage will do a lot of stuff to you. Once you hit him, he'll start flying up. So then he's really going to start missing you. I can't even hit him. Because all of his bullets are going to go down. He's flying up really fast. He doesn't usually fly up this fast. So let's let him come back down a little bit. So we don't get too high. Come on, little buddy. Alright, let's fly back here a little bit. And then we'll go in for the final kill. See, for some reason, whenever you hit him, he just starts flying up. I think it's like a defense thing. Oops. Oh, man, that was some lag. Oh, okay, down, down, down. Drink, drink, drink. Whew. Man, he does so much damage when you get close to him. Alright, let's eat up here. And let him come down. I should have brought some health potions or something. Man, but I swear, I wonder if there's a mod that makes the wither a little bit harder in this, because I don't remember a wither doing this much damage in vanilla. But again, I haven't really played vanilla in forever, so... He's regenerating his health, unfortunately, though, and I don't want to run in there with just 3 hearts, because he will take that out pretty quick. So maybe if I can just run in really quick. He's killing off the squids. Oh! Nope. Dang it. Well, at least now we can test, if we keep the ring on. Nope, you don't. Alright, so I can't fly. Alright, so I gotta run all the way back there. I'm just gonna have to stop recording. Maybe I just won't kill any more withers while I'm recording, because I'm not doing too well. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, welcome back. So I'm back at my little factory here, and yeah, maybe I need a little bit more practice before I can start taking on more than one wither here. But that's okay, I only needed 3 of these nether stars anyway, just to add some extra modifiers to my tools here. So we've got an extra modifier on the sword, the pickaxe, and my hammer, which is in here. So put that in there. Alright, and then we can add just some more speed to our hammer. And more speed to our pickaxe. So we're sitting at 50 mining speed. That's definitely one of the fastest pickaxes I've ever made. And then we'll put this here, and what mining speed? We're at 20.8. That's not bad for mining 9 blocks at once. And for our sword, we're just going to go ahead and put some more quartz on there. So another thing of quartz there, and we are sitting at 42 attack damage. Pretty sweet. I was debating putting looting or more quartz on this. I ended up just doing quartz because I don't need to actually loot that many items from mobs. Oops, I forgot to start my program here. I actually added a new program to this guy called Startup, so that way when he logs in, or when I log in, he'll immediately run the startup program. And basically what the startup program does is it just makes him come back down to the floor, so it's a little bit easier for me to set this thing back up after I log out. Oops, this needs to be on vein mode. See, then all I have to do is just, you know, mine him here. I don't have to fly all the way up there and look for him inside the tree. He just comes down to the floor for me. Then I can just throw this back in there and run Spruce Farm. There we go. So he'll continue with that now. I gotta make sure to keep this thing running because I want to eventually fill up this charcoal chest so that way I can start backing up on logs as well. Drop that. And we'll put this back in there since we're not going to be needing that now. Okay, so now what we want to do here is this pickaxe only holds 80,000 redstone flux, and this cobalt hammer holds 400,000, but this thing does take a lot of power to run. It says broken, but I don't know why it says broken because it's fully charged. I don't remember ever actually breaking it, but either way, it uses power extremely quickly, and it's not enough to just hold a energy cell on you all the time because I don't want to have one in my inventory at all times. I'm talking about one of these things, the flux capacitors. So you can hold this and it'll actually charge your tools while you're holding them, see, like that. But I don't want to have this thing taking up an inventory space. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my own system. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. In between last episode and this episode, I spent some time and cleaned up the underground areas of my base here. So now I've got this sky stone all down here. It's all nice and cleaned up so I can easily walk around and find things that I need to. And I put it down another elevator down here by the sheep farm, and the same thing, added the walls so I can easily access all this stuff. And it just gives it a little more finished look, which I like. So we got this down here and this here. Also, I added a cache for the wool because we started getting a lot of them. A lot of wool. We've got just over 1,300 now. So obviously, even with just 3 sheep over time, that really does pick it up. And yeah, and also I did the same thing over here by the 60 Dish Diner. I spent some time down there as well. I didn't quite finish because I ran out of factory blocks and didn't want to make more. So let's go ahead and run in here. And I added an elevator and dyed it black so it matches the floor. So I can just go ahead and shift down. And we've got our chef here already picking up some food. So we got some chicken parmesan on the way and some stuff down here as well. And as you can see, I've not even gone through half of my food yet, so it's plenty of time. And I've got one more elevator down here. This is the part that I haven't finished yet. Just gotta add some more walls and the floor here. I just pretty much did these random factory blocks in the restaurant here. It's not a big deal what I put down here since we're almost never gonna see it, but I just wanted it to look a little bit better than just dirt. And yeah, we got our cow down here, and this is the salt producer. So yeah, a little bit more finished. I have a habit in my Minecraft worlds of kind of just digging a hole and putting everything I need down there and then never making it look nice. So since I'm doing YouTube now, I figured I would spend some time and actually make it look nice since people are actually going to be looking at it. But yeah, now let's use up some of the space that I've made down here. We'll probably put it down here since we have a ton of space down here. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to figure out a way to suck out some stuff from our inventory once our tools get low, and then put them back in our inventory after they're done charging. So let's grab our other nether star. I had one more in here, and we're going to make a player interface. I don't know what a creative player interface does, but we're just going to be using this one. Alright, so we need an ender chest, so we need an eye of ender. Oh good, I have some ender pearls. That's one thing that I've been running out of quite a bit recently, is ender pearls. Oh no, we're short on obsidian. Okay, that's no problem. I will just make some. So let's see. We need 6 plus 8. Alright. So we've got lava, let's just go ahead and craft some. I've got some here. So 6 plus 8, that's 14. So we'll craft 14 buckets of lava. And then we'll also craft 14 buckets of water. Actually, we only need 1 bucket of water, don't we? Yeah. So lava. Alright, well, I'll just go ahead and do this. I'm not going to make you guys watch me mine out some obsidian here. Okay, welcome back. So I actually decided to just add a recipe for obsidian. So if we just grab this extra stuff out here, then we can make our 15 obsidian. And what it does is it smelts down netherrack and puts it into an igneous extruder. I'll show you down here. Down at the bottom. So I've got the netherrack going into the magma crucible. And it just pumps in through here. Here's the recipe in the interface. And when it pumps the netherrack into the magma crucible, it smelts it down to lava, and then puts it down here to be smelted into obsidian. So that's just a quick way of making obsidian. I figured I might as well do that since I'm probably going to need obsidian later and I don't want to have to mine it all the time. So there we go. Okay, so where were we? We were making a player interface. So we should be able to make one of these now. Put that in there. And we should be able to make a player core with some lapis and an emerald, which I have plenty of now. And just some other obsidian. So it looks like we're missing 3 obsidian. Is still more obsidian coming? Yes, it is. Alright, we'll just have to wait for that. We got 2 more coming, which should be enough. And a second, 1 more. And come on. I put some speed upgrades on there, but even then it still takes a little bit to actually make it. So there we go. Now here's our player interface. Now this is the same thing we made down here that just acts, makes our inventory act like a chest. So if we can pipe in and out items from this, specifically the bottom is the hotbar, so that's the one we're going to be using, so that we can take the uncharged items out of our hotbar and pump them into our system to be charged and then sent back to us. Okay, so this is probably going to take a little bit of messing around to actually set up, so I'm not sure how much I can do on camera right away. I did this back in the Attack of the B Team mod pack, but unfortunately this works a little bit differently because of the AE system, so I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this. So I'm going to have to spend some time here and figure this out, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, welcome back. So I've worked on this a little bit, and unfortunately I'm having the same problem that I was when I first came up with this idea, is that when you whitelist an item here, ideally what I would want is when the durability runs out, so when this thing gets to 0 redstone flux, I would want it to suck it out, charge it, and send it back. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, because after the redstone flux runs out, it starts using the actual pickaxe's durability. And if it does that, then it's not going to suck it out unless the durabilities are exactly the same, which they rarely are. So using a redstone flux setup like this, it's not actually going to be working out. But we can do a little bit of a workaround. It's going to be a lot harder to set up, but in the end, it's gonna work out fine. So basically, we're going to want a setup like this for each one of our tools. So that's our sword, our pickaxe, the atomic disassembler, and actually for the atomic disassembler, we don't need to set it up. For the atomic disassembler, we can just use this setup since it doesn't have durability after it runs out of charge. But then we're also going to need one for our hammer. So we're going to need 3 of the big setups. And what we're going to do with the big setups is it's going to work kind of like this, except it's going to be a little bit different. So I've got the pickaxe sucking out of this section of my inventory. So these side things right here from the player interface, they suck out of these slots right here. And then the bottom is the hotbar. So obviously right now I've got this servo sucking out of my inventory here. And it's got a whitelisted of the pickaxe. So when my pickaxe is low on charge or at 0 charge, I can just take it and put it in my inventory. It'll suck it out, charge it up, and then send it back right into my hotbar, as you can see there. Now that was pretty quick, but if I were to be using this pickaxe and it got low on durability, it would have taken a lot longer for the pickaxe to actually sit in here. So we're actually going to have 2 pickaxes in cycle. I've got another one here. So if I put that in there, it's also going to suck it out and send it back to my inventory. But what I want to do is I want to have two sets of pickaxes, or two pickaxes. So one that I'm going to be using, and then one that's going to be charging up while I'm using this one. So that way, every time I do this, I can always get a pickaxe back. Now, that's going to be a little bit difficult to set up here, but we can do it. So let's do it. All right, so what we're going to need to do is give ourselves a little bit more space here. So we'll start up here like that, and we're going to have it suck the pickaxe out from the same spot, so right here. And we'll put a servo on that, and then we're going to send that to a chest. Okay, so put a chest right there, and then it's going to be sucked into the chest. Now, we're going to want sleep before this blood moon gets a little more serious. Oh man, there's monsters nearby. See, this is what happens when I wait too long. I'll fly up here and sleep. It is kind of nice that you can sleep in midair, because then you can just fly away from all the monsters. Alright. Oh, hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay. So back down here. So we're going to be using a comparator. Let's use this as building blocks. We're going to be using comparators to detect when an item actually gets sucked out. So when an item gets sucked out, we're going to want to put something right here. Let's see, that's not going to be high enough. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to dig through this a little bit, and this stuff is a pain to dig through. Alright, so put that right there, and cut that off. So if we put a comparator right here, and then that's going to turn on when a pickaxe gets dropped off into this chest. So if we were to take this out and put it right here, it would get sucked out as soon as I actually set this thing up. Let's do whitelist on, put that in there, turn off metadata, so it's just going to suck it out when it's at, oh no, turn off NBT, you can leave metadata on, so it only sucks it out, it'll suck it out no matter what the durability is, which is what we want, so it should suck it out. What am I missing? Whitelist. Put in the chest. Oh, I guess that needs to be off too. Alright, so then that'll turn on. And when that turns on, we want another chest. We can put maybe the chest right there. So we'll put this right here because we want this to turn on. Alright, see how it's on right now? So we'll put the chest up top. Alright, so then we can take that out of there. Whoops, didn't want to destroy the whole thing. We want to put that right there, server right there. Alright, so they'll turn on when there's something in this chest. And when there's something in this chest, we'll pump this out. You know what? I think there's a better way of doing this. Okay. Okay guys, check it out. So here's the whole system here. It's not exactly how I remember doing it in the Attack at the B-Team mod pack, but it's actually a little bit more compact this way. There was some trouble because for some reason item ducts no longer can be paired with microblocks. Usually you can put them in the same block, but this time you can't. I don't know what changed, but yeah, you can't do that anymore, so I have to make it a little bit differently. But it actually ended up being more compact than it was before. You do need to use one of these modded, what are they called? The Project Red comparators down at the bottom, because you need to have two right on top of each other. So you need to have a micro block there, and vanilla comparators don't work with micro blocks. So you need to have, at least this one needs to be a Project Red one, but this one can actually be a vanilla one. I just made them both Project Red. So yeah, this is the buffer, so you can actually put more than one pickaxe in here. You can put like a dozen pickaxes in here if you really wanted to, even though there's no real reason to. I might put three, two in here and then one in my inventory, just in case. But either way, so here's my backup pickaxe, and say I've used up all this pickaxe. All I have to do is pick it up and put it in my inventory. It'll get sucked out, put into this chest. This comparator will turn on, allowing the buffer pickaxe to get sent through. And then when this chest is empty, it will turn this comparator off, allowing this pickaxe to go through and get sent to the infuser here. So now that I think about it, unless there's a way to actually change this chest actually has to be empty for this pickaxe to move through. Without this, the pickaxe moves through too quickly and doesn't send a signal over here to allow this pickaxe through. So now that I mention it, you can't actually have more than one pickaxe in here. You can only have the one. I'm not sure if there's any way to do that without making it a lot bigger. But yeah, I mean, just 2 pickaxes, that'll be enough. As you can see, it's quite quick to send the next pickaxe through. And then the only thing is you cannot send this pickaxe through again until this one is done charging, or else it'll kind of get stuck and you'll be stuck waiting for another pickaxe. You can, it just it will have to wait until this one gets sent through before you can receive it, but that makes sense. But yeah, as you can see, it just cycles through, and then we can swap back and forth between 2. See, this is what happens when you send both of them. They get stuck. So I'll just take that one out of there. So you have to make sure that this one's at least done charging before you send the next one, which actually isn't that big of a deal. With these pickaxes, they charge in just a matter of seconds, so that's not a big deal. So what I can do here is I can set this up with multiple different tools. So we'll have one exactly the same thing right next to it. We'll just use trap chests so that way they don't get stuck together. And we'll have one next to that one as well. And those are our 3 tools, and we can just send them along, and they'll get charged and sent back to us. Okay, so let's put this system to the test now. We've got our pickaxe here, so let's just start mining away like we were actually mining for some ores here. And as you can see, this pickaxe actually runs out quite quickly. That's okay because I usually use my hammer for the actual mining, not the pickaxe. So once this thing gets kind of low, we'll just take it out and put it right there, and it'll get sucked up. And in just a few seconds, we have another pickaxe. And again, 800,000. This one's much slower than the other one since I don't have any redstone on it or anything. So obviously it's going to be running out quite a bit slower. I wonder... Whoops, there we go. I wonder if it actually affects how much redstone flux it uses based on how fast it goes, because, you know, I didn't mine too many blocks there, and it really took a deal on my pickaxe. And I'm mining with this, and it seems to actually only be taking off a little bit per block. So I don't know, maybe it's just because I was mining it so fast. But yeah, even then, when this one's done, that one over there is already actually probably done charging. So we'll put that there, and we should get a new pickaxe any second. And there we go, this one's done. So it's a little more convenient throughout the real world use. Probably if I was going to be running around mining just like this, I would bring my usual flux capacitor, but just for usual use while I'm running around actually just mining and building throughout the world, I'm not going to want to have to carry my flux capacitor on me at all times. So when I do that, I can just, you know, throw it up there and get a new pickaxe whenever I'm done. There we go. And obviously I'll have to upgrade this one to the same thing as the last one. But either way, this system's pretty sweet. I like it quite a bit. So I just have to set the same thing up for the sword and the hammer. I'll just set another one up for those. And I actually have to fix my hammer. It got broken somehow. And for the atomic disassembler, it's a much easier process. I can just actually have it suck out when it's completely used up all of its charge. Let's set that up too fast. Yeah, once it's used up all of its charge, yeah, that's the downside of using the atomic disassembler, is it creates, it's not slick touch. And I can't put slick touch on it, unfortunately, so that's too bad. Which is why I don't use it for mining too much. But yeah, with this, I can just have it suck out as soon as it runs out of power, since it doesn't have a durability on it after that. But yeah, either way, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.